Hello there, learners! I am Miss Lani, and welcome to another session of exploring the world of English. And today, we will focus on reading. Reading is fun. It allows you to know what you need to know, takes you to a place you've never been, and lets you meet different people at the comforts of your home. Through reading, you get to travel and see the wonders of the Philippines, or even the world. It can even pave way for you to meet the Philippine heroes you look up to, your most liked author, and even your favorite actors and actresses, without having to spend a peso on a plane ticket. Reading is instrumental. It also gives you the opportunity to enhance other skills. By becoming a better reader, you get to be a better speaker because it is also much the same as having a conversation with the author. So you see, you are simply not just reading, but you are traveling, you comprehend, and you communicate all at the same time. In today's video, we will study about the different reading styles that you may use in different reading contexts. These includes skimming, scanning, intensive reading, and extensive reading. At the end of this session, you are expected to identify different reading styles for specific purposes, use the appropriate reading styles in various tasks and activities, and demonstrate understanding on the importance of reading styles. The development of reading skills plays a big role in learning English. It increases your vocabulary, raises self-esteem, builds good communication skills, and strengthens the human brain. It can also boost your school performance. Therefore, it is important to know the different reading styles for us to improve the reading skills in general and to enable us to use them depending on our purpose. Let us begin with skimming. Skimming is used to quickly gather the most important information or gist. It is done by running your eyes over the text, noting the most important information. Understanding each word is not really important in this technique. Example: reading a journal to identify which detail would you like to read, getting main idea of a text, and reading a text to get the general information. Skimming is reading a text quickly to get the general idea or meaning of the content of the material. This style is also used to determine whether it's worth reading slowly or carefully to ascertain whether there are new ideas or to get an overview of material before reading it closely. This is an example of how we skim. When we skim to get the gist of the text, we read the title because it is where we can easily have an idea what the text is about. Next, try to detect the main idea in the introductory paragraph. Read the first sentence in each paragraph, but we don't necessarily read complete sentences, and we also skip examples and proofs. Next, scanning. Scanning is used to find a particular details of information. It is done by running your eyes over the text while looking for a specific information. It is okay not to understand some phrases or words encountered in the text. Example: looking for specific details in your contact list, internet search, and checking your daily schedule. Scanning is a reading technique where the reader looks quickly for a specific information rather than trying to absorb all the information. Scanning is not reading in the ordinary sense. Instead, you let your eyes run rapidly over several lines of a print, at a time looking for a specific fact or idea. Keep in mind exactly what you are looking for, then it will appear to show itself more clearly than the surrounding words as you approach it. In scanning, we only look for a particular information. like in this article. For example, we will look for ways on how to prevent COVID-19. And for us to get those details, we can use some keywords such as prevention or protection. Next is intensive reading. Intensive reading is used in shorter text to get important details. It involves close reading for specific information. Understanding each word is necessary. Example: reading an article, book critic, and research work. If the first two reading styles were rapid reading, this one is serious. To read intensively is to learn from a chosen reading material. Doing serious reading books, periodicals, and other library materials for research work or a report is the main concern of this kind of reading. Intensive reading involves learners reading in details with specific learning aims and tasks. This reading focuses on deep reading or reading in details and closely analyzing of the text by paying attention. It refers to quality of reading. Intensive reading is reading a text carefully and deeply to learn it in detail and have full understanding of it. To have full understanding means it is necessary to look up the meaning of unfamiliar words in the text using a dictionary. In simpler terms, intensive reading means reading to study. Now let's practice. Read the text on the next slide intensively, then answer the questions that follow. Take down notes and pay attention to details. Do not go back to the text when answering the questions. Are you ready? Let's begin. Now let us try to answer the following questions. Number 1. What pair of words describe the beetle's front wings? 2. What is the use of the beetle's hind wings? And number 3. The front wings of most beetles are used to. Were you able to answer all the questions correctly? If yes, it means that you paid attention to details and your intensive reading has been successful. The last one is extensive reading. Extensive reading is used to gather general knowledge. It generally uses reading longer text for entertainment purposes. This helps a reader in enhancing fluency and speed in reading. Examples: reading a short story or reading an online series. Extensive reading means for fun and to develop general reading skills. In simpler terms, it means reading for the sake of pleasure and exposure. Reading extensively means to go on reading as much as you can with just absorbing the content and style and not specifically studying a text to gain knowledge. Extensive reading requires fewer efforts as it is not forced and is done to be enjoyed. Hence, Extensive readers look for simpler books or materials that interest them, and by reading, they improve their speed and fluency of reading and understanding. Extensive reading refers to reading a long text or books. This reading focuses on general understanding of the book or text. It also prefers the quantity of reading. The main differences between extensive and intensive reading is that while a person reads extensively, he does not pay attention to the small details of the content and read just to have a general idea of the topic, while intensive reading is visualizing every word and getting involved with the text. Now, let us have an activity. Identify what is being asked in each statement. Are you ready? Let's begin. Number 1. The following items do not require fast reading except A. Test or exam directions, B. Wattpad stories, C. Medicine labels, and D. Google search. The correct answer is medicine labels. Number 2. People are not scanning a text effectively when they A. Read every word in a text, B. Look for content, words, or visual clues, C. Read blocks of words, D. Know what they are looking for. The correct answer is letter A. Read every word in a text. Number 3. Extensive reading is a reading technique that helps you A. Work out the main ideas of the text without having to read it all, B. Read the whole story, C. Find a particular piece of information, D. Obtain a general understanding of a subject and includes reading longer text for pleasure. The correct answer is letter D. Extensive reading is a reading technique that helps you obtain general understanding of a subject and includes reading longer text for pleasure. Number 4. Floods can cause tremendous damage. They can ruin houses, roads, and buildings. Floods can take down trees and cause mudslides. It often leaves mud, sand, and debris behind. It can take months to clean up after a flood. What is the main idea of the paragraph? A. Flood can cause a lot of damage. B. Floods damage houses and roads. C. Floods cause mudslides. And letter D. Flood is a supernatural occurrence. The correct answer is letter A. Floods can cause a lot of damage. Number 5. Searching for the meaning of an unfamiliar word in a dictionary is an example of A. Skimming, B. Scanning, C. Intensive reading, D. Extensive reading. The correct answer is scanning. Number 6. Your classmate told you of the recent post from your school page regarding the online enrollment and the parents' and students' preferences regarding the different educational delivery modes in the new normal. What reading technique are you going to use to know more about these posts on Facebook? A. Skimming, B. Scanning, C. Intensive reading, D. Extensive reading. The correct answer is intensive reading. Number 7. Skimming techniques include A. Looking for the main ideas of the article, B. Looking for specific words, phrases, names, dates, or places, C. Taking time to understand the whole text in depth, or letter D. Reading longer text for pleasure. The correct answer is letter A. Skimming techniques include looking for the main ideas of the article. And that is all for today. In this video, we studied about the different reading styles: skimming, scanning, intensive reading, and extensive reading. I hope that you learned a lot and that this video will motivate you to become a better reader by applying the appropriate reading style depending on your needs. Thank you for watching. Bye!